Snake, have you ever seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
No, I haven't.
It's about this town where one by one the people disappear and are replaced by someone else. It keeps getting worse and worse until finally the main character's friends and family start getting replaced. It turns out it was a giant plant thing producing human clones. Creepy, huh?
Clones?
A clone is a body or cell that's genetically identical to another one. They didn't use that term in the movie, though.
You mean a copy of a human being?
It's technologically feasible. We know it's possible to do it in theory, and they've already started the research. One day, maybe toward the beginning of the next century, the genes of super soldiers like you are going to be a hot commodity.
Just to make copies of me?
Precisely.
Like a thoroughbred horse?
Right.
Huh. You know they'd never allow it.
Maybe, but technology changes people. We can't predict how people will think 50 years from now.
Some things shouldn't be changed.
We're not the ones who decide that. I think maybe the only thing we can do is to try and pass on our beliefs to our children, so that they won't head in the wrong direction. Snake, whatever happens to you, make sure you leave a descendant, okay?
Are you saying you want to have my baby?
No. I'm saying that in the 21st century, the genes of soldiers like you are going to be in high demand.
Genes?
Uh-huh. Remember when Watson and Crick discovered the double helix structure of DNA back in 1953?
No.
You know, they won the Nobel Prize in Medicine for it the year before last. Of course, you have to feel sorry for Pauling and Franklin. They were researching the exact same thing.
Sorry, I don't follow.
The inherent characteristics of any given individual are determined by his or her genes. By duplicating a set of superior genes, a separate body with the same set of characteristics, a clone, can be created.
But genes don't control a person's fate.
That's true, but having an offspring that's genetically identical to the parent is more efficient, right? You can expect better results that way.
More efficient? You can't mass-produce human beings.
Maybe, but now that we know the true nature of genes, human cloning is that much closer to reality. Nuclear transplanting is already theoretically possible, so one day...
My genes are going to be a valuable commodity.
Exactly.
They'd never let that happen.
No one should ever be allowed to use nuclear warheads. Not ever. I'm a victim of the atomic bomb, Snake. It still haunts me in my dreams. I see my parents dying in the explosion. I see the ashes of death falling from the sky.
I've been exposed too. The tests at Bikini Atoll.
I know. Somehow I could tell.
Is that why you saved me?
Perhaps. I think I probably wanted to leave some hope for the future. With this body, I'll never be able to have children of my own. So instead, I'm placing my hopes in you.
Why me?
I just think you'll make a great father someday.
Elisa, I'm sorry, but I'll never be a father. Wake up, Ursula. Elisa!
No. Ursula, don't. Snake, shoot me.
Elisa, what are you talking about?
Hurry, Snake. You have to shoot me before Ursula awakens. Shoot now. If you don't, I'll... I'll kill you, Snake. Kill you before you spawn your accursed snake children.
Psychokinesis.
Snake. Oh, Snake. Everything is clear now. The futures we saw were one and the same. Snake, you will destroy Metal Gear. And you will create a new Metal Gear in its place. Your children, les enfants terribles. Snake, your son will bring the world to ruin. Your son will save the world.
What are you trying to say, Elisa? Elisa!
Les enfants terribles. The terrible children. That's what the project was called. It started in the 1970s. Their plan was to artificially create the most powerful soldier possible. The person that they chose as the model was a man known then as the greatest living soldier in the world.
Big Boss.
But Father was wounded in combat and already in a coma when they brought him in. So they created us from his cells, with a combination of 20th century analog cloning and the Super Baby method.
Super Baby method.
They fertilized an egg with one of Father's cells, and then let it divide into 8 clone babies. Then they transferred the clones to someone's uterus and later intentionally aborted 6 of the fetuses to encourage strong fetal growth. You and I were originally octuplets.
Octuplets?
Yes. The other 6 of our brothers were sacrificed to make us. We were accomplices in murder before the day we were even born. So, it was you and I, 2 fertilized eggs with exactly the same DNA. But they weren't finished yet. They used me as a guinea pig to create a phenotype in which all of the dominant genes were expressed to create you. I got all the recessive genes. You took everything from me before I was even born. But you and I aren't his only children.
What?
The Genome Soldiers. They too are his progeny, carrying on his genetic legacy. But unlike us, they carry it digitally. With the completion of the Human Genome Project in the last century, the mysteries of humanity were laid bare. Thanks to Father's DNA, they were able to identify more than 60 soldier genes responsible for everything from strategic thinking to the proverbial killer instinct. Those soldier genes were transplanted, using gene therapy, into the members of the Next Generation Special Forces. That's how they became the Genome Soldiers.
Jack. My son. My clone brothers and I are called monsters, replicants of evil genes. You are one of a kind, but still a monster, shaped by a dark and secret history. We need to decide which monstrosity will have the privilege of survival. By the way, Jack, I was the one who killed your parents. I claimed you for my own and raised you as a soldier in the army of the devil. I am your foster father and your worst enemy.
Why?
Because I needed to know whether we were really someone else's creation. We're repeating history, Jack. Liquid and Solid hunted down Big Boss, trying to sever the tie that bound them to him. Unless you kill me and face your past, Jack, you will never escape. You'll stay in the endless loop, your own double helix.